All right, right. First of all, what it's going to be is, as I said, we're going to talk about the basics of screening. They're finding out the best stocks for us to do the trades for the next day. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Normally, what I do, um, what I normally do, in a in a normal day, like if a day starts, or day ends, to prepare for this one is what actually I wanted to share with you, right? For that, I'm going to use a couple of tools which I'm going to show you, and I may just go here and there because I'm controlling these what do you call this screen and the other stuff all. So bear with me for that, but. To start with it, what I want to do, talk about here is the basics, the graph that we normally follow. That is, it could be any graph for that matter. But now what I wanted to choose here is a graph that everyone can easily relate to, right? So that's what I want to do here. So for now, as you may know, that Apple is one of the stocks, and everyone knows Apple's and how well it performs, over the decade. So now I wanted to share this screen with you, and I have to do a few things. If you guys are here, and then if you can take a notes, and then if you want to know anything, the things that I'm going to talk about, which I'm not going to explain. If I'm not explaining those things, please do ask me so that I'll find some time to explain those things as well. Okay, I may not be able to have enough time to explain each and every things that I'm going to say. It's not a technical related things. It is not really deep technical analysis or something, but it is something everyone can easily do, and then everyone can easily follow. So that's what I thought to share. Okay, first, this is Apple graph, right? And we know that how Apple graph, Apple company worked. And what I'm going to do, I'm quickly add two moving averages. Simply, if you want to know what actually the moving average is, like if you take like last 10 days, last 10 days, if you take all the price actions that happened, and then if you just divided that by 10, and then that's the average price for the 10 days. Okay, so that's, we call it moving average. There are different type of moving average. One is a simple moving average, and then exponential moving average. Exponential moving average will give you a little bit of an accurate data, because we are taking the closest time. We give the more weight to the closest times to when we calculate that one. But I'm not going to use that one for now. But I'm going to use a very simple moving average now. So simply what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the moving average indicator. So I need two moving average. I will tell you why I need two. Okay, so if you just click twice, you will get two moving average. If you can see in this, by the way, I'm using a stock trading view for this purpose. Okay, this is not the actual tool that I wanted to use it for this purpose. I will take you to another tool from here. Just to give me some time for that one. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to set 50 days moving average. Okay, it is 50 days moving average, and then I also wanted to do 200 days moving average. Why it is, because why I'm using 50 days and 200 days is because one is 50 days gives me a very closer looks, like it's like last 2 months of moving average, what actually happened in last 2 months, and then where we are in terms of share price. That's what it shows me in this moving average. And also the 200 days moving average, which is in this color, like kind of a green, it will give you the long-term kind of perspective. Okay, so it's been like moving in like last 200 days, meaning like almost a year, like 3/4 of a year, how the share price moved. So now, all what I want you to keep in mind at this point before we go for the main screening is follow this moving average. This the bottom one. If you can follow the cursor, the kind of a green color one. Let me just see whether I can style. Yeah, I can just do some sort of thickness or something. Can I do that? Yeah, I can do this one. Okay, so I just make it a little thicker here. So that's my 200 days moving average. If you can see this one, okay, this is my 200 days moving average, and then this is the blue one is my you can say my 50 days moving average. Okay, So I'm gonna change the thickness here as well. Fine. So all what I want you to do at this point is find out where these moving average are. Okay, my 200 days moving average is below my 50 days moving average. Okay, so if anyone here don't know what actually the moving average, please take a note and then you can find it out. There are plenty of examples and plenty of write-ups on the moving average, and then even you can find moving average YouTube videos on moving average. Okay, all right, so now so what actually it means is the share price for last 15 days, if you take these moving average, the share price of last 50 days is always up than the last 200 days moving average. So now you take the 200 days moving average, the average share price of last 200 days, and then you are taking the 50 days. The 50 days is always above the 200 days moving average. What actually it means here is the share price goes up. If you take the overall picture of the graph, the share price is continuously going up. That's what it means. So if the moving average, 50 days moving average, which means the short term moving average is above the long term moving average, which means the share prices are continuously going up. It is always good. Only the good stocks. The stocks can withstand any sort of a volatility, can show this kind of a pattern. So always keep in mind moving average, 50 days moving average above the 200 days moving average. Another thing that I want you to check here is the share price, because since we are doing the swing trading, since we are only focusing at this point about the swing tradings, I want you to focus on this point here. The swing trade, the share price is above the 50 days moving average. Guys, please, can you have your mic muted? Otherwise, it'll be very difficult for me. Sometimes I think very faster, and my delivery is sometimes lagging. So if I get distracted, it will be very difficult for me to deliver the things that I wanted to say. Even if I'm using my own language, this is the scenario. My brain works faster than my mouth. Okay, all right. So the price here. No. Okay. All right. Okay. So the price here is the share price is above the 50 days moving average, which means if you take last 50 days of average, and then if you compare that average with the share price, the current share price higher than the last 15 days moving average. Okay, so two things I'm talking about. First, I'm talking about moving average, and the first one, when I'm talking about the moving average, I'm saying this on 200 days moving average is below the 50 days moving average, and the share price is above the 50 days moving average. So this is a perfect pattern or perfect scenario where you can set for your swing tradings. Okay, just keep in mind this one. And by the way, Apple looks really interesting at this point. You can simply draw a trend. I don't want to do these things, but I just wanted to show you. People are just asking what is trend lines and how we can use those kind of things. Guys, this is nothing actually. There is no any scientific proof or data backings on these matters. However, no, don't switch on the switch off the kitchen. I don't want this light. Let's listen to them what they're saying. Okay, right. So simply, if you just draw lines and connecting the lower lows and the higher highs, and then it will show you a kind of a pattern and a trend that we call it as a trend line. Simply, you can just draw a couple of lines and find out how these trend lines been respected when the share price moves. Okay, so now if you take these high and then at this point also, and just join these two together, and then find the low point, a couple of low points, and just put the line together, and then now make a kind of incline or decline, so triangle, and that will tell you a story. So every time the share price comes and hit these trend line, maybe you may find it the share price action turning the other side, and if at all it goes above that one, you consider that as a kind of a breaking point. These are very basic things. You don't need these things actually, but since we are here just from the graph, I'm trying to tell these information. Apple looks interesting because it breaks this trend line. It's nothing actually. Literally, it gives you no information, but it's a kind of a it can increase your conviction level. Okay, now we moved out of this trend line. Probably you can expect some kind of a crossover, or maybe not a crossover actually, a kind of a real bullish action from here, or maybe it can come down and then hit on these these lines worked as a kind of restriction, or a kind of a a restrictions line, meaning every time the share price goes and hit on that, and then it pulled back from there, and after it crossed that one, it may work as a support line. So when the share price comes down and hit at this point, it may go up, or maybe it can come back to the triangle. And this trend line connecting point is always a turning point. The share price may, okay, keep in mind, there is no any scientific data to prove you that these trend lines are, fallible, okay, may just, push, the share price to the next level, or maybe coming down. Okay, forget about this, what I've said just now, but all what I want you to keep in mind at this point is this one. The blue line, that is 200 days moving average, and you should know how to make this one using trading trading view, or any chart. You can use even Yahoo Finance for that matter. You can make a moving average, and you can do all these things. All what I want you to notice here is 200 days moving average and 50 days moving average. You can use even 20 days moving average, but 20 days and 200 days are really part, so we don't need to do that one. So we better use the 50 days and 200 days, and also see the price, current price, where exactly the current price sits. Or is it above the 50 days moving average or below the 50 days moving average? So I just it is a kind of a perfect bullish, not a bullish scenario, but a good stocks scenario. Right, this is the first chapter of our call, okay, first one. So keep in mind these things, and we will come back to them at the end of this call, okay. First one. The second one, you may know that we talked about Finviz early when we start our pay transactions. I did a video about using Finviz. I thought of using, and I sometimes use a different type of scanners. I have different scanners, but for this purpose, I thought of using. Finviz, which is more sophisticated and free. Everyone can easily use it. The things that we just learned now, the 200 days moving average and 50 days moving average, can be tested with the data in that particular the website. So that's why I chose Finviz. Okay. So now what we're gonna do? We're gonna go and check Finviz and see whether we can find out any interesting information from there. Okay. So if you don't know what actually the website that I'm gonna talk about, it's called Finviz. FINVIZ.com. Okay. Finviz.com. Okay. You can see this one. You can see the screen. Yes. It's called Finviz.com. All right, so this is a very sophisticated. You can say you may not find a better free scanner than this anywhere. Okay, I'm also trying to build a scanner for the community, for us, but it seems to me like we already have some good stuff to use it, but some information that we needed. We can't get it, so that's why we are trying to have our own. All right, okay. Now we're gonna use this Finviz for this one. The first thing that you have to do when you come to the Finviz is you have to go. It will take you to the home screen. This is how the home screen looks like. Okay, there are so many informations that you can find it. It's not. We don't need to worry. We don't need to really worry about this one. Okay, keep in mind that today's session is only about finding the perfect stocks for the swing tradings. I'm not talking about the long term. I'm not even talking about what we call the penny stocks or long term investment. No, it's not that. It's perfectly for the swing trades. Okay. All right. So now what we're gonna do? I want you to first click these groups here. Okay, if you can write it down, that'd be better. If not, also it's fine. But I'm recording this video. Probably I will post this video later. Okay, so what I want you to do is to click this group and see. This is what I do in a daily routine. So you can say at least every other day. What I do, I just come here to find out which sector is really working very well, in the last month or last week or today. Which sector actually worked? Okay, you know what actually the sector is. We can divide all these companies into 10, 11 different sectors. For example, utility is a sector. Under utility, what other companies comes. It could be in your waste management, your electricity, water. All these things we consider as a utility. Anything coming on under the utilities, it comes under utility sector here. And we have financial sector, banks, insurance, that kind of stuff. And we have a consumer stuff, and we have a real estate, we have defensive, and then healthcare, industrials, energy and communications, basic material and technology. So they've just Finviz, for their facility, for their benefits and for their easiness, they just use these things. And then these are the common thing actually, many market, many indices uses to follow the market. Okay, so now if you just see this one today, the utility dominant the market, meaning it performs one day relative performance. So relatively, utility sector worked really very well. So if you wanted to know how actually it happens, when we go back to the screener, I will tell you how to find it out, this particular utility that worked very well today. Okay, all right. So now, but if you go back and then check the weekly and monthly and 3-month relative things, we have a different story here. Energy sector, people, if you remember, I was talking about MRO, I was talking about GLOP. All these stocks comes under energy sector, and even green energy also should be considered as an energy sector. Okay, so last month or last 3 months, even last week, if you just go and check this one, energy sector performs really very well. Okay, so energy sector is working really well in this Finviz data. And also the communication service last month worked well, but last week they've just went down. So why these information is important for us is, for when we go back to the screener, and then when we try to find it out, the best stocks, because we're gonna do the screening for there will be somewhere around 8,000, 9,000 stocks or companies there in the in the main market. So now we have to find just 5 companies for us to concentrate. We can't just focus on all these 8,000 companies. We have to find the best companies for us to invest and to get the return quickly. So that's what we have to find it out. Now the point, to start this screening, if you can decide on which industry you think would go better in coming weeks or coming month, it's based on how long you want to do the swing trades. These things would help you to make the decisions quicker. So now you know that, okay, an energy sector looks better, relatively perform well. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this on. Why I'm taking this energy is, today energy sector went down, but last week is at first. Last month it was at first, and then last 3 months it was at the second. It is in second place. So energy looks good, looks really good. But if you just in the same way, if you just take technology is highly volatile. From here it's second in last month, and last 3 months it is at third or fourth, and then in the last week it's going down even further. So energy, it's not that. Energy is try to secure the place within the first 2 places. So now go back to the screener here. You can see this one, the top. Forget about the home, forget about the news. We need the groups first, and then other one we need is the screener. Before we go to the screener, I just wanted to click this map. What actually the map, this is called heat map actually. What actually this map shows you here is, in the current day, how the market really performed. All these companies, just mentioned here, they just give, sorry about that. Taking care of ourselves has never. Sorry about that. That's a free software for us. Okay, so now if you just follow these one, this it shows you how this market worked. Okay, for the if you just take today, how the market really will. All the green are positive, all the red are not really good. But if you just follow the legend here, it says if it is a dark red, which means the company has went down by 3%. If it is kind of a brownish stuff, 2%, and then it goes all the way up to the high, like green is solid green is a 3%, and plus gain. So it looks like overall market looks better. Yeah, so I don't think that we are in a very bad situation at this point of time, or today market really works very well overall. If you want any more confirmation on that one, go to home again, where you can find the overall market indices. You can look at this one, Dow. Dow Jones, right? So it is, works really fine, plus 237 points. Nasdaq has gone down by 9 points, and then S&P 500. These are the three major indices that we use it. So you can see how nicely, this has been presented here. Okay, so these are the three major things that you can check. Okay, let's go back to the map, and then if you come back here, overall market looks bad, not bad. It looks fine. Amazon goes down, Tesla goes down, Google is nothing much, no much changes actually. FB has gone down, Microsoft has gone down, Apple has gone down. Looks like all the tech companies, not really, worked really well. However, Netflix, that it's another interesting company. They went up really very well. It seems like 1+ percentage. MU, you know what MU, right? The semiconductor, micron technology, they also working very well. So this is something, let's give you a quick summary for you. Okay, now I'm going to take you to the screener. So if you go to the screener for the first time, this is how it will be. There is, lot of information, here. But not actually, this is not really lot. I'll show you what lot means. Okay, and then you can see the company. The list goes like we have 20 at this screen, but you can find we already have 108 sheets into 20, and then you can find it out how many companies that we are talking about, more than 8,000. Okay, all right. So now, what I want you to do all to just first click this all, meaning all sort of a screening that we need. Okay, at this point here, it's all. If you just click that one, we will get the entire the screening that we have here. Okay, and few things that people already, right? The relative volume, and I talked about it many times, and I've been talking about it continuously. That is our best tool that we use it. But before we go and then check the relative volume, what I always say that we just check the sector, and then we found that energy companies are working or performing really well, in last 3 months. So I'm gonna go for the energy sector. I'm gonna see sector, under the sector. I'm gonna click the sector. I'm gonna find out what are the energy companies are there. So if I just screen, if I just filter that one, I have 286 energy companies here. 286 energy company. That's too much for us to do it. So out of which, how to find the best companies that that can give us a good return, right, in a short terms. Okay, so the best thing to start from here is the things that we learned just with Apple, stock. That is, 200 days moving average. You remember the 200 days moving average? It's there, right? So we'll click that one and we'll see what we have in 200 days moving average. If you just click that one, it says there are so many things there. But if you come down all the way down here, it says 200 days moving average below the 50 days moving average. 200 days moving average below the 50 days moving average. So 50 days moving average is here, 200 days moving average is here. So that's what we want. You remember, I said if the 200 days moving average is below the 50 days moving average, what actually it means is this company, is going upwards. Okay, last 50 days moving average is greater than the last 200 days moving average, meaning the company is going up, upwards. If you have problem in understanding this one, write it down and then think about it. 50 days moving average is at the top, meaning it's at the higher level than the 200 days moving average. 200 days moving average is longer period of time. 50 days is a shorter period of time. So if the shorter period of moving average is at the top, which means that share price, the overall share price of this company, for a shorter period, it goes up. Okay, like it goes up. Overall, the company, the price wise, is working very well in the market. Okay, that's what actually it means. So I'm going to choose this one and see, is there any company? Maybe sometime you may not find any companies out in this sector. Right, I just click that one. I just made 263 companies. That's a good number, to be very honest. I didn't expect this many companies here. Right, so now the next one that we learned from Apple is the 50 days in the share price. Okay, 50 days in the share price. So now what you can do, you can find out the 50 days moving average. Well, so how we can find what we're going to do here? So now we are trying to connect the share price and the moving average, 50 days moving average. Okay, let me see if I can take you back to Apple once again. All what I wanted to do here, just to show you another interesting thing here. Okay, the 50 days moving average, the connections between the 50 days moving average and the what we call the 50 days moving average and the, oh my god, what I'm doing, give me a second, moving average, just want to add this moving average once again. I want to add just only one, I don't need the two, so click this one. I'm going to give 50 days here. Can input 50 days. Okay, so I'm going to make this 50 days moving average here. Now, all what I wanted to get from this one here is, if you can see the 50 days moving average, I wanted to see how far the share price is, high here. I mean, for example, if you just use this tool here, this tool will give you the price range. Okay, so all what I wanted to get from here, just for a reference for me, from here to this share price. Now currently the share price is somewhere around here. So if I just click this one, it shows the 3%. Now the share price currently is up by 3% from the moving average, 50 days moving average, right? So if it is 3%, that's a really good, kind of we consider this as a good sign, right? So what we're gonna do when we go back to our Finviz, 50 days moving average, when we choose the 50 days moving average, we try to find it out. The price is below, price is above 10%. Okay, now the current price is above, if I can, the price is 10% below than the 50 days moving average, meaning the price is below 10%. No, I don't want that one. So I wanted to just get the price above the moving average. Okay. So what I'm trying to do now is I put like 10%. Now the current share price is 10% above the 50 days moving average. Now I only have 120. Can we have your mic muted, please? Michael's iPhone. Can you please have your mic muted? Okay. All right, thank you. So now, if you just follow this one, what I've done, I've just set up another filter here, saying this one, moving average, 50 days moving average, and the share price. The share price is 10% above this one. Okay, so now if you go back to my chart, so what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to take this one to this like 10% here. So I'm trying to find the companies is trading at this point somewhere here. Okay. So they are far above than moving average, our 50 days moving average. Okay, let me come back to the Finviz. Okay, right. So now I still have 120. It's very difficult to find the best company with 120s, right? So what I'm going to do now here is we have another interesting tool, is relative volume, right? You can use the relative volume. Before you use the relative volume, what you can use is, if you can use the volume itself, that also will give you a really interesting, phenomena. Like how, if a stock has, traded more than 100,000 K in a day, or say 500,000 500,000 plus, volume, meaning it has more transaction. It could be volume. When it comes to the volume, it could be buying and selling, but it's a, it's a liquid, it's a, there is enough leverage, that there is enough transaction, the people are buying and selling, so there won't be any problem for you to buy or for you to sell. If they only have a very small float, and then and their trading volume is less, then it will be very difficult for you to buy or sell. So if you can set your volume, not the average volume, I'm talking about volume, somewhere around 100,000 or 500,000. That for now, for this purpose, we'll say if you can find out with 500,000, any stocks that traded more than 500,000. We'll consider them as a good at this point. Okay, I'm going to find it out. This volume, where is this volume? Volume. I couldn't find volume here. Relative volume, average volume, right? Average volume. Yeah, I'm gonna go and find this average volume here, and gonna set it above or over 500,000, or maybe 500,000. We'll set 500,000. Okay, now if you can see it here, it says 64 companies. Now we just filtered to 64 companies. It's really interesting because we had 8,000 companies. We made it to 275, and then 276, 264, and then now 120, and now we only have 64 companies. This is also really a higher number for us to follow any of these companies. So the best thing now here for you to do at this point is go back to your relative volume and make this relative volume above 0.75. Okay, if you just do that, now you only have 56 companies. So it's not enough. So make it 2, over 2. What actually the relative volume? If you don't know, make a note and then please go and do a Google search on this one. Okay. If not, now I just tell you what actually the relative volume. But if you don't understand, and please go and get this one. The relative volume is, we have an average volume. Every single day there is a buying and selling. That's the volume, right? Overall buying and selling, we call it as a volume. So if you take a 10 days, or if you take a 3 month, and if you add all these numbers, all these volume, and then divided by the number of the days that you take, that's what you call average volume, right? So now you have an average volume, you have a daily volume. So relative volume, what you do, you take the daily volume and then that divide. Sat there, and we know one of the men blowing kisses on him, and he's like giggling. Okay, so what actually it is, if you take the volume and if you just divide that volume by the average volume, that will give you the relative volume. What it says, what it'll tell you actually is the relative volume is increased by 2, meaning the volume for some reason has been increased. The people who get involved in these stocks trading has been increased. So there is a reason for that one. There may be a reason for that one. So people don't just come and buy the stock. There should be news. There should be any anticipated results to come or something like that is happening. So that's why relative volume is one of the very most powerful tool here. So we now use the relative volume over 2, and now we have like 25 companies here. Okay, right now 25 is a good number. If you have enough time, you can just go through each and every company and find it out. Any interesting things that you can do. So the quick thing from here, if you just wanted to stop at this point and I wanted to go back and then see whether you can find any other good companies to do the swing trade days, okay, just bring the cursor closer to this one. Okay, follow see the graph. Okay, the graph shows continuous upward trend. So if you ask me at this point, this is not the right one for me to just pick and do the swing. What I'm expecting at this point is I'm expecting a small dip in the share price. Okay, so now I'm going to bring cursor down. No, nothing happening. No, everything shows right, but it looks interesting. CRK looks interesting. There is enough volatility, so I'm going to click this graph here. CRK. Okay, so if you can see, there is enough volatility for us. Okay, guys, we are doing swing trading. All right, all what we wanted to see here is ups and downs in the share price. Okay, if you have enough ups and downs, that's our chance to jump in and then make the money. When I say that we are doing swing trading, I'm talking about getting 10% of a return from this swing trade. So 10, 20, 5, even 5% for that matter. If you do more swing trading in daily basis, or like you are buying today, maybe selling tomorrow or day after tomorrow, in that way that you can accumulate a lot of money, guys. I'm telling you out of experience. Take these as a serious things. You can accumulate a lot and lots of money by doing these kind of swing trades. Okay, so there is a lot of volatility, ups and down. What's the volatility here? The share price goes up and down is what we call volatility. So now it shows the share price is going up and down and up and down. So now my moving average, I'm going to quickly check my moving average here. This moving average here, 200%, 200 days moving average. That is this light color. You can see the colors. Yes, can you see the screen very well? You can see the shared screen, right, guys?
Yeah, it's not too clear, but I can see the lines.
Okay. All right. So, if you are front of the camera, if you are front of the computer, it'd be better. But anyway, all right. So this one is my moving average here, my 200 days moving average, and this is my 50 days moving average, and this is my 20 days moving average. So it shows that my moving average are perfectly set as our theory, and the price is also above the 20 days moving average, above the 50 days moving average, meaning perfect. That's just aligned with our theory. The nav, another interesting thing is I'm really interested about these downrun here. The share price was, the maximum share price was at 692.95, and now it's went down to 640. So there is a 50p there's a 50p downturn in this share. So what I'm expecting now is to this share price to come down and hit at this 20 days moving average. If you can follow this 20 days moving average as a trend line, every time the share price comes and hit this moving average, it goes back, right? So now they just put this, they use these trend line. Another interesting things about Finviz is they put all the trend line, everything nicely for you to just quickly get the readings. Now they put this trend line and they put all the moving averages. Now these 20 days moving average looks like a supportive line for us. And now this is where the share price moves. So maybe the share price may comes down, and then if at all the share price comes down to 629, that's your entry point. That's your entry point. You can expect, you can wait a little and see whether it can break it down, that line. If it is not, so that's your entry point. And before it, right before it turns or right after it turns up, and you make you bet your things. Okay. I'm not sure whether the graph is right or wrong. I mean, the graph is clear to you or not. Let me just show the graph. CRK, right? I don't know what is this company. I have no idea what this company is doing. I'm not talking about any fundamentals here, people. And you have to go and understand this business as well. After you decided this is the company that you're going to go for this, you will do the same things for 10 stocks or 5 stocks. You will take all the 5 and you will go back to the company's website, try to understand the business, try to understand all other things, and then I will show you how to do that too. Okay. Now, what's the ticker symbol? CRK. So I wanted to see the graph here for CRK and see whether we can have it. CRK. Where's my CRK? This is what I do, guys. This is what I do in daily basis. When I say that I do research, I do analysis, I do these things. These days, it's a little bit slow. I'm not as high as before because I have some other commitment to do, preparing for this and that and all. So that I'm not doing very, very, serious research. But still, this is what normal process of doing a research. If you are doing a swing trading, and if you are doing a long-term investment, there is another set of tools and set of analysis, set of a process. Okay, right. So now, what we are looking here is this one. You see, these two candles. I'm gonna quickly put the moving average. Sorry, FX. I need 3 moving average. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first one I'm gonna set it for 20 days moving average. You can have as many as moving average you want. I'm gonna have 20 days, and then I'm gonna have 50 days, and also I'm going to have a 200 days moving average. Okay, so it gives a short term and the long term. Fine. Okay, so this is the moving average that we are talking about here. Okay, I think you can see the graph. If not, I have to make it a little. Okay, so this is the graph that I can bring it to you people for now. Okay, so this is the graph that I can bring it to you now. So if you can see, this is a 200 days. Yellow color one is the 200 days, and this is the 50 days, and this is the 20 days. So now, what we are really interested at this point is these two red candles. So the share price bounds at these 20 days moving average, right? So the share price went up all the way to $7, and now it is at somewhere around 647. So we have a $50. So now what we are expecting is the share price to come down to 620 or something, 628. Okay, if it comes down and touch this one, and maybe it may, if it follow the trend, here, it may go up. So right, so you wait for that one, and then you wait for that to take a turn, and then you make your entry here. Okay, so if you just quickly change this one to daily basis, our come on, man. Okay, my things is not working. Okay, fine. So all what I want is I wanted to get an this is the daily chart. Okay, right now the price, you can see this one how it's going down. So another interesting thing that you wanted to know is before you make any move, you have to go and then check your news, why the share prices are going down or why the share price are going up. That's the next thing that you wanted to do. Okay, every time that you find these things, yes, these graphs and everything's are really interesting, yes, that's good, but it doesn't mean that you have to right away go and use this one. You have to find the news, and you have to find what is the catalyst, or what is the catalyst to push the share price, or pull the share price, whatever it is, why it's happening. All this information has to be followed. Okay, so now the share price are going down. Maybe this may be a good potential stocks for us to consider. Okay, so take this one and keep it in your watch list, and then we will go back to Finvish, and we'll find out the other stocks that we have in the list. Okay, so what we are doing, simply we are just bringing our cursor closer to that list that we filtered, and then we find out is there any interesting things here. Okay, so now we have something called Talos Energy. That is looks good too, because there is a red candle. So what I would do if there is a red candle, though, I always look for why it is falling here, why there is a huge sell off here. So is it a good time for me to buy it? So is it a market overreaction? You remember I talked about market overreaction. So is it a good time to buy, make my entry? It looks like a good company. Like since May, it's went from $10 all the way up to 18. So like within a month, within a month or two, getting 100% of return is really great. So why the share price is continuously going down? Why the share price is coming down now here? So this looks a good stocks as well. Go and please do a research on this one, guys. Okay, what actually they're doing a research. Check the news about this company. Go to Yahoo Finance. Put this name. Okay, now we're gonna go. Okay, now that's what I have to do. There are two things that you can do. You can come down here. These will give you the entire, technical data, or the fundamental technical data that you want about the company. There are a few things that you can follow. First of all, you can check the market capital of the company, meaning it's a 1.41 billion market capital. It's not really a big company, to be very honest. If anything, any company over 10 billion, 20 billion, you should consider them as a medium-sized company. So then you can understand how small this company is. The company income is minus. Okay, it's very normal things. But if it is plus, income is in plus, meaning the company is running profitably. But the sales they made, the revenue, you can call it, it is 600 million. That's not really bad. The book to share price, book value to the share price, it's 9.1. What actually it means is we are paying $9 for a $1 book value company. If you don't know what is book value, please take a note and then go and check on this one. Okay, these are few things. You don't need to get to know all this information. The easiest thing to do from here, if you just finalize these stocks, TALO, go to Yahoo Finance. Yeah, this is Yahoo Finance, people. Okay, and type TALO. Yeah, Talos Energy. I don't know. I never heard of this. And maybe I did a swing before, but I have no idea what actually this company at this point. Okay. Now, if you just come here, this is the summary of the stock. The volume, today's volume is really great here. 500 million share has been traded. The share price has gone down here, so which means it's a selling dominant day, or the selling pressure has increased. So meaning the volume here shows is mostly a selling, not the buying. But the average volume is this much, and this is it looks like the relative volume is 50 divided by 6, somewhere around 9 or 10 or 9 or 8. Okay, all right. So now you can find why the share price is going down. So you can just come down here. You can get all the information, all the news related to the company. Talos Energy announces pricing of secondary public offering. So it's a market overreaction, guys. It's the best time to buy the shares. Keep in mind, it's the best time to buy the shares. If the market just reacted on this offering, then it's your time, people. That's your time. So if I'm writing a write-up tomorrow, after I just do my studies, I just come and tell this one, guys, today is Monday. I find this stock is interesting. This is the reason market is overreacted. So please go and see this one. So just behind that one sentence, I have done this much of a studies, people. You should understand that's not something just someone comes and talk about those stocks. Okay, all right. So now it's a market overreaction. So now we have to go a little bit further to understand what actually happening here. Right. So what I want you to do here is, if you can see this one here, summary chart, conversations, and statistics. I want you to go to this stats section. Okay. If you go to this stats section, it will give you all the information that you need in a very simple table manner. Okay. So now the market capital of this company is 1.3 billion. Enterprise is 2.49 billion. What actually it says, you people here, is the company's enterprise value is higher than the actual market capital. The market capital value is less than enterprise value. It's a good sign? Yes, it is. Okay, now we just come down here, and PE ratio, PS ratio, all this there. Price to sale is 2.1. If you remember, we talked about price to sales ratio with IQST or LKCU. I forget it. If it is less than 3, you have to consider that as a perfect one. Okay, anything less than 10 at this time, it's better, because every PE ratio is over the moon. So now if you just consider this one as a 10, PE ratio is 10, it's good. But 3 is your best. Anything less than 1, meaning totally undervalued companies. Okay, all right. So now if you just come down, all what you won't need to, and all what you have to check here at this point is this area, guys. It's called structure, share structure. This is what is very important for us, because it shows you how many stocks are there. 81 million stocks. Okay, total outstanding meaning the company has decided to divide the companies, a portion of the companies, into 80 million small pieces. So one piece is called as a one share, right? So it is the company's total number of shares is 81 million, and then only the floating here is 45 million, meaning the other 90 or whatever the 30 million shares or 35 million shares locked in the company's name. They can use it for second offering. They can use it for anything that they want to do. If they want to raise any capital, they can just release those stocks. Okay. Now, if you just come down, institutions own 92% of these company. 92% of these. Holy guys, keep these stocks in your watch list. We're going to talk about these stocks in 1 month of time. In one month time. Okay. Keep these stocks in your watch list. I mean, if you just finish this one, we can finish this session, I believe. Okay. Why? Because it's a good stock. Now we have 92% of institutional investors. What it means is institution do studies, and then in a lot of analysis, and the people works like throughout the day just to find out about the stocks. They decided to invest in this company 92%. So you don't have a lot of shares to do the trading. That's another good thing also. So now you only have 5% of the people, 5% of internal investors. So 3% of the shares are normally circulate. You can consider these two are literally locked. Maybe the insiders can buy and sell, but institution, they buy it and keep it for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. So you can consider this one as also locked. So now we are only talking about out of 45, 5%, even if you just consider 50% and 5%, we are only talking about 2.5 million shares just for a daily floating. Okay, so this company is it looks interesting, it looks beautiful. You guys can consider this company to invest. Another thing that you have to do is in this section is you have to come down to the balance sheet, where you have your assets and liability. What we don't need to go that deep, but total cash in hand, it's very simple to understand. So they have 64 million cash. It's not really a big cash for a company, 1 billion company. They don't have enough cash. So if you check their debt, it's 1.3 billion, meaning if the company went bankrupt, you will get nothing. Okay, so if the company goes bankrupt today, you will get nothing. So this is what it means. I always like to see the company has more cash in hand and less debt. Okay, so here the total debt to equity ratio is 139. It's way too much. It's way too much. 10, 15, you can like give it a like, but still it's nothing to do with the share price. We are doing swing trading. We are not doing long-term investment. We are not looking for any long-term investment opportunities. Swing trading, it's completely fine for us to just jump in and then get the things that what we want within this setup. Okay, I think I'm saying it right. We are doing swing tradings. We're going to invest in this company today. Maybe we're going to close our positions in month or week or day. We don't know. When we find our target, say for example, I'm going to set a target for this stock. Last month it went up by 100%. I'm going to 50%. I'm going to set my target here for 50%. This company went all the way up to CRK. No, I'm not looking at the CRK, right? I'm looking at, this is, what is the company name? See, I don't even know the company name. TALO. We are checking at TALO. Fine. TALO. TALO. Hello. Okay, so we are just looking at this graph, right? This graph looks so beautiful, guys. It looks like, so beautiful. Look at this. From here, from this bottom line, from $10 on somewhere around April, end of April 27th, and the stocks continuously goes up, right? Just in 2-3 months, it's went up to 20 plus, meaning, yeah, $20, $19. 100% of return, people. 100% of return. It's a very good investment at this point. Just in 2 weeks. So I'll give you an idea, quick idea. S&P 500 will give you only 14% of a return, for you. Okay, so this is what this company can offer you. All right, so I do trust this company can, give us another interesting return from here. Okay, we will do our more research on this one. If anyone here from the Project Plus one, take a note on this one. It's a 1 month swing play for us. We can give it a try for 1 month swing play with these stocks. If anyone interested in that stock, you also can go and quickly do a research on this one. We may have a full DD on this, and then we can set these stocks. Okay, all right. Okay, so it looks a perfect scenario for me for a swing trading. So it goes up. Now it's overreacted, market overreactions. I think the share price may come down even a little. I can maybe up. It can come a little lower than then that I think it'll be somewhere around 1650. So you can expect this to come a little further down. Maybe you can watch it next week. If it comes to somewhere around 650, that can be your entry point. And then set your target to 2024, and then you can slowly take your things out. So this is what I say. The energy sector is working really very well. In the overall 3 month so we just came here and then find out this red candle, and it's the share prices went all the way up. If you can see this one, the green, it goes all the way up, and there's overreaction. We don't know why it is overreacted. We went to the Yahoo Finance. We find out, okay, there was a second offering, so the share price market overreacted. People started selling and try to take the profit. The people who invested at $10, they don't need to really wait, right? So now even if they sell it at $17, they will get $7 profit per share. That's a great return. So why they have to wait? They just close their positions, and then it happens. So now you can just do the same thing. You can just go, and then I'm just still at the first 20 stocks. We still have another 5 stocks. So if you just go down and then move your cursor, and then now this looks interesting too. PDCE, I don't know, PDC Energy also looks interesting. Why? It is because now you can see a perfect ups and downs. It's a perfect stocks for swing trading. I think at this point it will have a down. It looks like if it follow the trend line, it will have a small back run from here. And this one looks so bullish. I don't know, or Vintiv looks so bullish here. OIA, side wave. There are. It looks to me this is also a very good, interesting stocks, guys. You can take a note on this one. If anyone from Project Plus One, please take a note on this one. Please do post this one in our discussion. We have to talk on this one. OIA also looks really interesting. Why? It's now very interestingly consolidating. If every time it's consolidate and then it jumps up. If you can see these ones, right? So there's a nice consolidation. We will go, and then we don't know what's happening. It's a screening. We are just doing a very layman way of finding these stocks. Okay. All right. So now that's enough. Now it's your time. It looks interesting too. You see, market overreacted. MGY, if you find out there should be a reason for this one, we don't know what actually it is. Market overreacted, and from there no turn back. It goes all the way up. It's really interesting stocks. That's a very nice examples for us to follow. You can see this one. Find out why here. If you are interested, go to Google, Yahoo, and then on a when it is, I don't know, on a certain day, I think it is June 18, June 17, on my birthday. Market really overreacted for this stock. And then share price fallen, and then from there it's nicely going up. So it went all the way down to $13. Now it's went up to 16.2. So it's almost, you can say, another 10-20% of a return. So it's a very good return. And then I think this is also really interesting play. All right, so guys, this is a basic way of doing. Oh my God, let me take my juice. This is a basic way of doing analysis. So I just only touch up one section, people. What? Using the sector to do that one. I don't use this method, actually, to be very honest. Okay, this is the basic way of finding out the stocks, and you will find a very good stocks out of this one. Actually, what I normally use, I use the beta. Beta will give you the momentum, because I would like to do a very quick swing, doing buying today and selling tomorrow, day after tomorrow. If I decided to keep it like for a month or so, and then this is very interesting way of finding those stocks. Okay, momentum stocks is very high risk play. That I would like to do it, because I'm okay to take a risk, and I'm okay to play with that one, because I always know my risk is just 100%. My reward is even more. That's my motto always. So I try to do a lot of risky stuff as well. So there are something called beta. Please go, and if you wanted to know about this one, please do a research on study on this one. What is beta here? Then you will understand this one. So it will give you the momentum and the other related issues, and then you can use some other things. So these are just it's already 1 hour. But guys, these are the very basic things that I can share with you today, people. Okay, I'm glad that you guys are here, and then I could able to deliver something that I always wanted to share with you. Um, if you guys wanted to say anything at this point, if you want to ask anything, we'll go for a quick. I have to go to office tomorrow, man. Yeah, we will go for a quick discussion, half an hour maximum, guys. Okay, if you wanted to talk, go for it, and it's your time, people.
Boss, just a quick question that you mentioned about beta. Is that something like a Finbase, but the better version of that? Or it is something completely different?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question, Suben. What is that?
I think you mentioned that you use something called beta. Is that something that is similar to Finbase, or that is completely different thing?
No, no, it is beta. If you can see the screen, give me a second. I'll just share the screen. Beta is a one parameter that can give you the momentum and the other stuff. So if you can see this one here, can you see the screen?
Oh,
You
okay,
see
okay.
this
I
one?
got it
It's
now.
just like a relative volume. Yeah, beta is a one one parameter that you can use it to to filter your screening. Okay, so that's what the beta
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Okay,
got it. Thanks.
yeah. Others, anyone?
If there is no further questions, then I'll ask
Yeah,
one
go
more.
on, go on, go on. Yeah.
So, uh, obviously, you said we are only using one of those tools, which is the 2050 and 200 SMAs.
Yeah.
So, in conjunction with that, do you also use the other things, which is like the RSIs and uh,
Okay, so MACD and then RSI is another interesting thing that we can use it. Okay, but I don't really want to talk about it here because that'll be way too much for us. To find the entry, if you are doing, you say if you are doing a quick swing tradings, and if you want to do, set your entry point, um, looking at the MACD and looking at the RSI will give you a very interesting, factor about the current momentum of the stocks. What MACD will tell you is, simply it's a convergence and a divergence, right? How the buying and share and the selling of shares combine, give them, affect the market momentum. That's what it shows. RSI simply it gives you, in a layman term, it will tell you whether the shares are oversold or overbought. You can set it like you can have your range. Actually, normally we go for 30 70. If it is over 70, that we consider that as an, the stocks has been overly bought. A lot of people are buying those shares, meaning the share price is going really up, so high up. So that's a quick, that's a quick, alarm for you, to make a quick alert on that one, whether do I need to close my position here because it's already been oversold. Maybe people will decide to, sell their position. So that's alarm for you. And if it is less than 30, which means it's been overly sold, so that then people will started buying it, because when the market moves ups and downs. So this is how it's buying and selling is going this way. So RSI and MACD is a very good. See, that's not only the tools, people. There are so many tools. When I was doing day trading and all those things, the crazy number of technical things that we use it. Oh my goodness. So that's, since the time period is very less for us, like we are talking about just 1 hour, we have to make a decision at this moment and have to close the position just in an hour. That's what the day traders do. So that they use a lot of tools and data to quickly calculate the momentum for that moment. Since we are doing swing tradings, we have enough time. We have 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 weeks. So we have enough time there, so that we don't need to go that far. So simple graph will tell you the story, a lot of story, than you finding out the MACD and the other stuff and all. If you precisely wanted to put your your entry, then yes, MACD and then RSI, you can use it, guys. If you don't know, if you don't know what is MACD, if you don't know what is RSI, please forget about it. At this point, you don't need to know that. stay together within the community. We will talk about all this bloody stuff when the time comes. If I have confidence that you people are ready to take that one. Many of us are new investors here, so if you are ready to take all these things, I will definitely talk about it. It's not a big things actually. It looks like people are see if you remember when I was in school, seeing the people doing the tradings, sitting in front of the front of the screen, 2 or 3 screen, the graph, the green red the graph, and this line and all. I think, oh my goodness, I this is what I have to do. But after I studied all these things, this is nothing. Just like there's the grade one kids learning math. This is what it is. Okay, so don't worry about all of these things. We will learn all these things one by one. But for now, what I actually want from you, guys, to focus on the things that I'm going to see. I'm trying to take it. I know that I'm not a very organized person, but I'm trying to take you all through a certain line, certain things. I won't. Okay, this is the right time for us to talk about this one. So this we are talking about this. Just keep this one in mind. First thing, moving average. Long-term moving average, short-term moving average. That is 200 days and 50 days, and the price, and then coming back to Finviz. Do the proper grouping, finding out the groups, use the map screener. That's it. Nothing much. If you think that I talked about a lot of things and I packed with a lot of information, no, it's not that. Just only 5 things that in my the things that I prepared just in 10 minutes. I prepared this session. Just I'll show you what I have written here. Actually, I wanted to show you the Nike's graph, but anyway, show the chart of Nike, take them to Finviz, talk about talk about group and find the best industry to invest. Now talk about the technical screening and trending. That's all I have written. So this is the 5 things that I covered today, people. Very simple and very very easy things. Many of you are asking in the comment section whether this video has been. I've been this video has been recorded. I will put it in our website, and then I will share it tomorrow morning. You guys can watch this one. Okay. All right. Anything else? Anyone? All right. So if you have nothing to say, then let's hope you guys get something. I add value for you. I know that this is Saturday night. It's not a good time to come for a meeting, but I just things comes to me like that. It's a very unplanned, unscheduled meeting. So hope you guys get something out of it. All right, guys, and then we will Sunday again. We have if I prepared for that one, and tomorrow I'm gonna office. I'm not sure, but if I prepared for the session, we will talk about a very specific, interesting crypto coins. Okay, I will talk about it. One crypto coin that I find it very interesting recently, and also that's not just only that. I'm not gonna. Why I chose that one to talk about it, to you people, is because that crypto. If I started talking about that one, I can cover so many other crypto related things that I know, which I can share with you. Okay, so that's why I wanted to talk about that particular crypto. I have already prepared the notes, but I have to go through and then make myself ready for the meeting. All right. So hope you all will come and join me on Sunday, probably same time. We'll have 1 hour, maybe 1.5 an hour, 90 minutes session. All right, that's all, guys. Thank you so much. And if you get some time, go and put a feedback on our session about the session in the feedback section so that I can read about it. Okay, please do that. Thank you so much, and hope you will have a good weekend. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, boss. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.